Well, hello and welcome. I'm Sue Britz,
And I'm Tina Lokkbakk. Welcome to Retired.
the podcast where we talk about what life is like when we put on new tread, new wheels that move us to our next adventure. Tina, I have a question for you.
Oh, gosh.
First of all, I'm hearing a helicopter.
Yeah.
Are you guys still have fires?
I don't know why there are so many. There have been all weekend long. We've had 2 power outages because we're having rain and lightning and thunder strikes. And I think that they are patrolling.
Okay.
Because there's so much cloud coverage and it's supposed to, have thunder and lightning again. So I think it's preventative, or they're just keeping eyes on things. So yeah, there'll be a lot of helicopter sounds.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a question for you. When you get up in the morning, you wake up and you get out of bed.
Yeah.
Do you make your bed?
Yes.
When do you make your bed? Before you go downstairs to eat or start playing games on your phone, or when do you make your bed?
It's one of 2 things, but the cleanest and best days are when I just get out of bed and I make it instantly before I even head down. There have been mornings where I will go down, make my coffee, then come up and make the bed.
So is it almost always you make the bed right away or not?
I would say almost always.
Okay. God, we're the same.
Why am I not surprised?
Okay.
You too. Yeah.
It's efficient and it looks nice.
Yes, it does. It looks nice.
A lot of people leave their beds unmade. What do you think of that? She doesn't.
I think beauty is my value, and having a nicely made bed is living that value every day. So it's kind of like beginning the day living into my values.
Yeah, but what do you think about people who just leave it all sprawled?
I'm glad that I don't live with them.
Do your kids make their beds?
Well, my youngest just came and stayed, and it's not made. No, they don't. I don't know.
So what is that?
Wait, hold on. Does Patty make her bed?
I don't think so, or only occasionally. So what is that?
Whew. I think it could be maturity.
Hey, hold it. When I was a kid, we were just told, you make your beds, and that's a requirement of every day. There was never any thought about leaving it unmade.
Okay. My mom never really interfered in that. And in fact, this is how I began to make my bed. In high school, I learned that in the evening, I'd walk into my mom called it the disaster zone. She even got me a sign, and it was. So I would leave it a disaster, and then at night, I couldn't go to sleep in disaster. So that's when I would tidy up my room, and I made my bed before I got into it.
That's a little weird.
It is. When I went to college and had my first roommate, that's when I became serious about bed making, because I thought it would not be fair, because I was an only child, had my own room. I thought if I'm sharing a room, it's not fair to have a messy room. Like, it's not fair to my roommate to have to look over and see it messy and unmade. So I did it mostly for my roommate, but also I didn't like people in my clean sheets.
That too. And, I think about it now. I hadn't thought about it. My roommate in college also, she made her bed. And it was just, there was never any thought that you wouldn't make your bed. Okay, but my daughter never was a big making her bed. And I would just close the door and that would be it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I guess
we pick and choose our battles.
Yeah. Okay. Toilet paper roll. Forward or back?
Love you. Well, interesting you say this, because I was the perfect example of the married couple that has to go through a transition period who wins out. And I have the paper on top. And you?
Of course, because that's the way it was made to be. I mean, you look at the patent, that's what it is.
Thank you.
Yes.
And that was that should have been like reason for divorce number 1. because that was like an issue, I don't know, it's funny.
But
So
see,
yeah,
Melinda
but
does it
you're
the other
right. The
way.
picture's on there. Hold on a
Yeah.
second. You're right. The picture is on there. It's never reversal.
It's the same thing for paper towels. The paper towels go forward, not back. Melinda puts it on backwards, and I just correct
Oh,
it, and there's no argument. It's just what it is, and it stays there the corrected
but you
way.
correct it.
Yeah, because I
So
can't.
she still puts it reversal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's what
Okay.
I did too.
What about hangers? Forward or under and over?
Oh, I can't believe we're even having this question. Of course, it goes like from the outside, the hook.
I agree. So why do they do that in Mexico? People hang them the other way.
Do they really?
Well, at least in the families that I was in. What is that?
I don't know. That's beyond my understanding. I like, what is that? I don't know.
Okay. Dishwasher.
These are great questions. Love
Okay.
it. Okay. Bring it
Dishwasher.
on.
Is there a correct way to load the dishwasher?
Yes. And that is, maybe we're seeing connections that, yeah. So, Sue, I'm so bad. I maximize, like, for me, it's almost like a puzzle piece. I don't get upset or anything, but when people don't put it the way I want it, because it's really my dishwasher, that's how I see it. And then I find the most efficient way. In fact, I just got a new one. So I had to kind of relearn how I wanted to put things in. And I just saw myself instructing Maria, who's new to the dishwasher, like how it's most efficient to do it. But before I run the sucker, I have to replace and remove and add in and shuffle. How about you?
I like to maximize because I don't want to waste water and stuff. But
Right.
more importantly is loading it efficiently. And
Yeah.
this thing of reloading and reloading, I wouldn't do that. That's not efficient. You put it in the correct space the first time, and then you take it out efficiently and put it away. Because I'm in charge of
Oh,
the
you too.
dishwasher. Yeah.
Yeah.
And forks. Do you have the forks and knives up or down, or do you have a rack that you lay them on?
Sharp knives now I have a third rack. It's kind of nice. So I put all the sharps up there, the dulls, the blade has to go down on the knife, but the forks are up
I agree,
actually.
and spoons too, because then the
Absolutely.
water can hit it and the particles can
Correct.
leave. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, just checking. All right, and then what about washing clothes? Is there a correct way to wash and dry your clothes?
Well, ooh, this is so fun. Um,
This is fun.
it is. So I know that, have you noticed, like, if you look at manuals of washing machines, it talks about the texture of the clothing, and that's something I can't do. I again am a maximizer and I only sort by color. So all the like off whites and whites go together, all the blacks and blues go together, colors together, and then like in betweens together.
So
So
you got
I
like
would
4 or 5 different categories?
I would have four categories if it were up to me, but what happens after I get them into the four categories is if there's not enough whites, then I'll pull some of the lighter colors into the white pile
Of
and
course.
I'll put some of the colors into the black pile, and it usually comes down to about three. How about you?
Yeah, darks and lights, and maybe a third is what I do. The and I like them to be full, but Melinda doesn't care. She runs that washing machine every day, whether it's got a few things in it or not. And I'm like, I just have to, it's like again, why does it bothers me because there's a waste of water and
Oh, yeah.
time and stuff, but also, it doesn't matter. And then, okay, how particular are you about the things sitting in there? Because if they sit too long, they smell. And then in the dryer, if you don't get them out, then they're somewhat wrinkled. Does that matter to you?
Sue, I think that we're very compatible and I didn't even know it. I feel the same way. Maria will run a pair of tennis shoes in the dish or the dish with the washing machine. And I'm like you, like, but we need to maximize. Like, then if you're going to do your shoes, then you should wash the rugs and the dog beds, like with your tennis shoes.
I agree.
I, and I really get crotchety when things come out wrinkled. Annoys the heck out of me. I like it perfect. I don't like
See,
wrinkled
that's
clothes and I
Melinda.
don't like them sitting there.
I don't care. I don't care
Oh,
that much.
really?
I
Oh,
don't
that for
care
me
that
is
much.
the
I'm not gonna
worst.
I'm not going to run to the dryer to get it before it falls to the bottom of the dryer. I'm going to wait until it dawns on me, and then I'll do it. Um,
It dawns. Just thought of the dish soap. Go ahead.
that was bad. But no, because you can shake it out or you can run it through for that wrinkle release, and it's all good. And if it's that wrinkly, then you just iron it, And I don't
Oh,
like to
no, no,
iron.
no. You know what you do? If you take a wet towel and throw it back in there with the wrinkly things
Mhm.
and run it through, it takes out most of the wrinkles.
Right, right.
And so that was my trick move. So then I stopped ironing for him too.
There you go.
So wet towel, everybody, wet towel.
Yeah, and it really, really pretty much works. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
For me, it's what's important is, and it never used to be an issue. I never used to spend any kind of money on myself. Um, but I,
Amen.
I didn't have nice shirts and stuff. So, but now I
Yeah.
buy nice shirts, and I don't want them to get destroyed or
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll use the delicate or the hand wash cycle, and I'm okay with if there's a bra in there or a t-shirt in there that doesn't need it. It doesn't matter. Those things can be hand washed or delicate wash too. So, but that bothers Melinda. She wants it
Oh.
according to what the cycle says is what it should be, and those are the only things that should be in there. I'm more holistic in the inclusion of it, like you were describing the shoes with the dog bed or the towels you use to wash your car or whatever, so that you time it
Yes.
that way. So that yeah, in a but however, if there was an occasion, there are exceptions to that too, and I'm okay with that. But I'm not anal about it. At this point now, it's like she does it her way and I'll do it mine, and that's fine. The reality is there's not one person, me,
Yeah.
doing all the household work in
All
the
the
house, and
things.
that makes all the difference in the world too about how
Doesn't
you
it
feel
though?
about things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Abs-
to share the work. So, like, Maria taught me this saying, trabajo compartido toca menos.
yeah.
And it's become my motto, which is shared work touches less. In other words, it's easier, it's lighter.
Yeah, it's many hands make light work, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And it just, and I think about this every day. It's so funny to be married 22 years. You end up doing all the work, and then to live with someone, and without even like doing roles or stereotypes or what. It just is shared.
Yeah.
It just is shared. It's such a wonderful experience. I wish this upon everyone to know what it's like to have a shared experience.
Yeah. And like you say, you hardly even have to negotiate or talk about it. And it
No.
to the other extent where like I find myself saying, "Hey, please let me do the laundry. I mean, you're doing it too much, or whatever." And
Yeah, let me help.
no, it's not. See, that's the thing. It's let me help. The thing is, see, in a cis marriage, you're going to he might say, let me help. Well, hold it. Half of it is yours. So there's
Yeah,
no quote
exactly.
helping.
Oh
So
God.
that language, even in my marriage now, I'm not going to say, let me help. It's like, let me do it. Or, how you might say, how can I help you with what you're doing right now? Or let
Hmm.
me do this, So I find myself really, it's your obligation to get up and do something. It's not your the place to be told what to do all the time, to be directed, because then you're just a passerby. You're just sitting there it's like you're a child, you know? No, you should be you live in a house, you step up and you do the work that you're supposed to do. Yeah, just my I love it.
I do too.
Okay. How do you wash your car, or how often do you wash your car, and what makes you decide
This
to wash
is
a car? And do you wash the inside and the outside, or just the outside, or what?
okay. These are really good questions. I would love to have a clean car both inside and out all the time. I don't want to spend the money to get it detailed. I struggle with it because I'm very tidy, Sue. Like I don't have like trash in my car. I don't have things all over my car. It's like a nice car, but it is filthy, filthy. Like on the outside, especially being in the mountains, there's just that much more dirt and things and the dirt inside the car. So I have to bring this up because Maria came back and I had her car and my car. And I actually texted her and said, "Which car do you want me to pick you up in?" Because that was the one I was gonna to clean because I didn't have enough time to do both, and both were shamefully embarrassing. And this is where Maria is like the cleanest person I know, and her car is spotless. So for me to come down, it was like this shame. So luckily she said you choose. So I thought, well, I'll just do my car. So I only got to clean the outside of the car. And that was the first thing on the agenda when she came back was to clean both cars. So I feel very blessed because she likes a clean car no matter what car she gets into. So that particular job is something that she enjoys. So I just kind of don't do my car. It's just done. It's like
Wow.
magic. I know. I know.
Oh my word.
I
Okay.
know.
Yeah, for me, it's I now park my car outside because my our garage is I've got projects that I'm doing out there. I'm making lamps and stuff, and so it takes up a chunk of the garage. So my car's been sitting outside, which I've never had a car that I've
Oh,
owned that sits
outside.
outside, which is weird, but again, it's your priority in life. What
Right.
you know, and it's an older car. It's 2012. It's kind of old.
To me, it's
So
still new because I remember you buying it. But
I
go
know
ahead.
it, and so it sits out on the curb and it gets dusty very quick. I mean, within if once it's washed within a couple days, it's dusty.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is so
even
dusty.
there.
Yes, very much
Okay.
so. And so the dust is fine. It's when the dew starts happening and then the
Yep.
dust and it runs and it then you
Yep.
go, okay, it's time to wash the car. And I like to just zip it through the wash, the automatic wash. There we go. We're
Hmm.
good to go. The inside is clean. I mean, what's going on in there? There's not a lot of dust going on. There's no garbage in there. Again, I keep my car tidy on the inside. There's no trash in there. I don't understand people leaving mountains
I
of trash or
I
in
don't
in the
understand.
back and so to the point where like when you get in someone's car and it's all you have to move the trash for you to sit in it. You're like,
I
oh
that's
my,
so.
I
Uh,
don't, I just can't. But whatever. Um, I don't. Mine's tidy. There's nothing. If I take a cup
so
in
we're
the
the same.
car, I'll take the
It
cup
comes
out of the
out
car.
before
I
I get
mean,
out of the car. It's
you
like
know,
making the
yeah.
bed.
It's
It's the
like
same
it's
concept.
exactly. And so Melinda, on the hand, she does love her car absolutely clean. I mean, beautiful.
Oh, so she.
And
Oh,
she enjoys cleaning the car as much as one might enjoy a job of, having a task to do. But she'll go and take it up to the place that does you wash it yourself and um,
oh
you
yeah,
dry it
like the
yourself.
Rocket. Like I don't know if you have a Rocket up there.
I don't
That's a
know.
thing
I don't
down
even know.
here.
It's a privately owned person. It's not a chain or anything. But anyhow, um, so and then she'll vacuum and all that, and of course, it's easier for 2 people because then you can, like, again, more hands make less work, um,
Yeah.
but she'll go and do it herself, but she does like it if I were to go with her, but we'll just do her car. It's a very nice car, and it's like her baby. She wants it all clean and kept
Same.
very, very
Same.
well, so, yeah. So
Maria's is a baby too.
and I know that she looks at my car and it's all dusty and stuff, and she's like,
Yep.
but she doesn't say anything because,
Oh, okay. Right.
that's
It's true.
respectful.
Right.
Yeah. And, it's not like and also there's a level of
Well, does she
tolerance
drive your car?
occasionally, but not very often. Uh, but, it's like,
Maria drives mine a lot, and I think that's why she doesn't mind washing it because she wants to sit in a clean car.
hmm
It doesn't matter if it's mine or hers.
right.
And so I think that's why she's connected to cleaning my car.
Okay.
I yeah.
Well, see, for me, it's like, yeah, and my car's getting old, and and when I bought it, I said I'm gonna drive this car till it dies because, I'm living on a teacher salary, and I don't expect to be able to buy another car, So, um, that's just because it's old doesn't mean it should look old or look bad
No,
or whatever. You keep it
exactly.
clean. So, my point with Melinda is saying at some point she doesn't say anything because she knows at some point I'm going to clean it, and it's much sooner than I think most people clean their cars. So there we go. I would love though. Here's what I would love. I think it would be so fun, and this would have been even more fun 5 years ago to own a business like a Quick Quack or one of these that.
Yeah, quick, wait,
Yes,
that's the uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, where and you have a car automatic car wash. It provides the quote free. It's included
The vacuum.
vacuuming where you do it yourself, and they give you the little wipe to wipe down the interior. So I would love to own that business, and it
Cool.
would be so fun. I think,
Yeah,
and there's a
what's fun about
demand.
it? That's interesting.
There's a demand for it in our town. I mean, there are a lot of people. I personally would be one of those that if there were a Quick Quack around the corner, I would be have that monthly.
You'd be
Um,
quacking quickly.
well, I'd have that monthly service where they give you a discount. You get a month. You can come in unlimited times that you want. I'd be driving through there every week, and my car would be great, and because there's not a whole lot to it, and you just drive through it. I would love the business, and I would, if there were a Quick Quack around the corner, I would be totally subscribing to it. So yeah, that would be a fun business to run.
So, question, because before I left our town, you had the Chevron wash in the downtown, and it was only like it started off at $14, and I think I left at 17. And I went once a month at least, and
You
they
mean
did
the
the in
hand
and the
wash?
out in 20 minutes.
Mm,
Loved it. Yeah. And I can't find anything as cheap as that
no.
down here, and I would have to drive an hour and a half. And is it still there? Because I do miss
It
that's one of the things
recently
that was hard to
It
leave.
it recently went out of business, and
Oh, it
a
did.
lot of these car washes, manual car washes, are going out of business because ice is coming down. People are afraid to
Oh,
go to work.
so true.
But it closed before then. But at that point, it was not $17. It was like 35 or whatever.
What?
That's a lot, to get your
Yeah,
car.
no, it
Yeah,
was. Whoa. I only left 4 years ago, Sue, and I think I ended at 17.
the pandemic
Changed
changed
it
a
all.
lot of things, and that's one of the things that changed, and now they
Wow.
have all these car washes that do it,
So much
automatically.
cheaper.
So,
Yeah.
and then add in all the ice issues now. That's a business that has changed. There are some businesses that will have changed forever, and that's one of them. If you want to have a hand wash, it's kind of like a detailing now, and it's going to cost you a pretty
Yeah,
penny.
you're
So,
right.
yeah.
Well, now I feel less sad having left because that was one of the hard things. That and I miss the grocery store options. We had the most beautiful grocery stores on the planet. I have to say shout out to Nugget. I think it's the
Oh, well,
most
yeah.
beautiful store experience in groceries on the planet.
No,
I miss it with my heart.
it's a great business. It keeps getting among the best companies to work for,
Mhm. Yep,
and
because they treat people well.
they pay them well, and
And we feel it when we go
mhm.
shopping there and they're like, "How can I help you, ma'am? Can I help you with anything? I cannot tell you." And they're always gracious and smiley.
Yep,
Oh, I miss it.
yep.
And all the cheeses and the Olive Bar. I miss it.
All right. So, can
So,
you think of any questions?
yeah, I mean, I think you hit all the you hear about when you get married, toothpaste tubes.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So,
do
what's
you
your
like
answer to that
squeeze
one?
yours flat or do you roll it or do you just squeeze from the middle? How does
Okay.
that work?
So, that works not only for toothpaste if you still use a roll, but also it works for your estradiol that do you get it all out. And estradiol you do because it's so expensive. Even with a prescription, you have to. It's expensive stuff, so it has to be squeezed out. Really, you squeeze it flat, and you roll it so you get every little bit that you can. Ladies, make sure you do. But toothpaste. The toothpastes, I don't know what brands have that. The metal, do they any of them have that metal that you can easily, because that's the thing is if it's the toothpaste tube is made of plastic. if you try to roll it and lay it flat, it won't
I
work
don't think they've
because
made metal in decades. I don't think I've
right.
had a
And
metal one
so
since a child.
so that question is done because you can't roll it flat and roll
Well,
it
yes,
tight.
I do, except that it re-expands.
Right.
So you
So
just have to
what's the
keep
point?
rolling it every day.
Right. And that's
Ca-
why I've gone to the other
Oh,
kind, the one that stands and you just squirt
oh,
it out. And
oh.
that's there's no way because unless it's going to flatten and roll correctly, I don't want it.
Well, I go to Costco, I buy the packs, and I only get Sensodyne because I have very sensitive gums and teeth.
There you go.
So I don't have an option of it any other way except the plastic tube.
Okay. See, that's a
So that's like
problem.
the okay. So, okay. Oh, these are lame questions, but here we go. So when you get down to your lotion bottle and it no longer pumps, do you throw it out or do you turn it upside down and take off the cap each time you use it until the whole thing is dry, inserting finger at the end, swiping to get the last remains, or do
Of
you just
course
throw
you
it out?
have to use it all.
God. So so is this like our generation? Is it the way we were raised by our parents?
Well,
Because I don't think most people do this, Sue, but I am right there with you.
I think it's a generational thing, but also it's about waste too. And I'm
It is.
not hyper vigilant on lots of things, and I think you are more so than I am, where you're hyper vigilant on things. I think, and
Could be. Yeah.
and so that kind of fits with you. I For me, it's about I don't want to waste it, and I was raised by parents that didn't want to waste things, and so it's about wastefulness. Although, if you think about it, like making the bed, it's about making time, wasting time, and making things. Why do you do it?
Oh,
Because it's a constraint which says you should make it look tidy. Well, I understand that, and I like it. The toilet paper roll, while it was designed that way, why does it irritate you that it has to be the other way? Well, because it doesn't pull out
decades of
as easy,
conditioning
right?
too.
But it's also it doesn't pull out so
No, it doesn't.
easily
You're
or the
correct.
same, and so there are reasons behind it, but ultimately none of it should really bother you unless there's these other things
Oh,
on.
things tied to it.
Yeah. So if it's done just so that you have more work to do and it's yours to have to carry, then you're going to feel irritated by it maybe. I don't know. What other ones can you think of?
Well, I just have to give another tip. This is one of the greatest things. So, as a stay at home mom, having my mom model things for me and then feeling stressed out while running a business and all of it, right? So, it became time efficiency. And one of the things that I came up with, and I love it, and I still do it today, I have a bin for underwear. So I never fold it. My mom showed me that you had to fold all your underwear. And finally, when I'm doing two girls and my husband's and my underwear folded, I'm like, this is the biggest waste of time. So I got bins and put them in all of our dresser drawers, and I would just plop it in. Bras, plop it in the bra bin. Plop. I did put socks together and then plop them in the sock bin. Best thing ever. You just plop, plop, plop. And now I took it to the next level. So my workout clothes that are all like non-irony things, I have bins where I just plop all the shirts in there. I plop all the pants in the pant bin. And so I just pull out from each bin and I don't look wrinkled. So what's the point in folding it? And
Right.
it's like the best for laundry. Anyway, just sharing with people
Well, I
who want
think
to
uh,
save time.
I'll take it up a step more.
Ooh.
Our friend Richard, he will
Yeah.
only buy for to help with the socks. He'll only buy one type of sock, and then he'll just throw them all in there, and there you go. So maybe he'll have white socks in one area in his drawer, and then black socks in the other. That's it. But they're all the same socks. So when your
Oh.
socks start getting holes, you throw them out one by one rather than the pair, and you just have the same exact socks. And so you just throw them in the drawer and pull out the two you need. There you go.
Oh.
You're funny.
The thing that I don't like though, it's all working for me, and I realized I think it's because I like colors and like
Mhm.
my black socks may not go with my beige pants,
Mhm.
and I don't do white.
Mhm.
I hate white. It gives me great anxiety.
Well,
And do
see,
you know
he's a
why?
man. They wear
I
white
know, and they don't
socks.
care, and they all wear tube socks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So white, I can't stand because the minute they start to turn color and you can't wash them to the bright white that they came, I can't stand them. I don't want to look at them. They depress me, stresses me out, and bleach does not do its thing.
Okay, so what about towels? Are all your towels white or are they colored?
I couldn't stand a white towel because if there was one spot on it, it would kill me and I'd have to get rid of it. So I have all colored towels, dark. I have like blue and gray and purple
All
right
right.
now.
Do you have housekeeping towels or do you just use the old towels for your housekeeping?
Well, um,
Because like all those white towels that housekeeping
yeah,
uses,
absolutely not.
uh,
It's all the yellow Costco microfiber things. And then Maria is way into these special ones that they use in Cuba. Like it's a Cuban towel. It's a weird cottony. They come in bright orange or bright green. And she likes those. And so those are our mess up, clean up things. But no, yeah, that's a hard one, right? When your kitchen towels don't look at best anymore, it's like, what do you do? Because I don't want to throw them out, but I already have too many yellow microfibers. I have too many Cuban towels. So there's kind of like this interim towel that I haven't quite figured out what to
okay,
do. Not bad enough to throw away, but not nice enough to hang.
here's what we do.
Tell me.
We'll take the towels, our old towels, our kitchen towels, and use those um, to clean the car. And or like I put a
Mm,
towel under the dog bowl and stuff, so that gets changed out. The old kitchen towels go under the dog bowl. But the other thing you can do is when you get to some point
I
where,
like this.
yeah, you get
This
to
is
some
good,
point,
Sue.
you take it to the shelter. You pack up your
Oh,
and you take it to the
that's
shelter,
true.
and they love it. And
That's true. I've
and
done that, but
it feels
I never
good,
thought about the kitchen towel because I'm thinking big dog, it has to be the bath towel.
right?
But the kitchen towel would work, of
Yeah,
course.
for the cats and for the
Oh, Sue,
rabbits
that's
and everything, and
beautiful.
they need to wipe area. Yeah, people use all those, so it's good.
Thank you. That is like the best tip of the day.
Okay.
There's one more thing that I've come to this two things that come to my mind and it's changing. It's not out of scarcity. So when I grew up, my mom was very, very frugal. So she would like take all the Ziploc bags and wash them. And it used to drive me nuts. But as I wash mine every all the time, for me, it's because I feel it's the tiny thing I can do for the landfill. I just can't see putting ice or a slice of bread with breadcrumbs and then throwing out this perfectly reusable bag to go into the landfill and add to the plastic. So my intention behind the reusing of plastic bags is very different from my mom, but it's the same thing. And I caught myself the other day going, oh my God, I'm doing it. And then the other thing I want to point out, so when I bought this house and it was a rental, I went to Walmart and got these little tiny side lamps, and they're too small, they're too short. I got the big bed that your friend was giving away. It's like an Alice in Wonderland bed. It is ginormous. It's like 5 feet off the ground. You have to get a running start to get into it or a stool. But the problem is with these little stupid lamps, it's the top of the lamp is shining into your eyes instead of the light shining down. So then I thought, well, I could just go to IKEA, pick up something cheap. And then I thought, no, that's where I've seen my daughter has been really good at going into these used second hands and getting really good quality things for like nothing. And if we get ourselves out of this capitalistic new, why in the world would I not just go get lamps from a secondhand store? Why am I going to? And it's not, again, the money as much as it is, why am I going to go and get something new for the sake of new? And on a concluding note, I love this concept. In the United States, you can't go to a landfill and take anything out, even if it's perfectly good. And so many of us go and we throw away things because we don't like them, but they're perfectly usable, right? And to someone else, it would be great. In Norway, you divide out your stuff, like the metal section, the wood section, the whatever, right? but they also have a section where people can donate what they think is usable, and then people can come and just pick it. There's no suing, there's no whatever. You just go and you pick apart like usable things. Doesn't that make sense? But our landfills, because we're worried about being sued, will not let you take anything out of the landfill, even if it's practically brand new or is brand new.
Our landfill in our town does
Yeah?
do the same thing, where you take your treasures, and they've got a
They
building
have a
there.
treasure
They've got
section.
a section that is free stuff, and then they've got stuff that's for sale, and it goes to a local charity. And then at the landfill itself, you
Oh,
can go up, and you can pull. You can't go tread in there, but you can pull things off.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, I love that.
yeah, that's I think it's up to individual
God, I love.
municipalities to decide to
Yep,
make that a
must be.
priority. The plastic bag thing, like you said,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
had a bunch of ice in a plastic bag for a
Mm-hmm.
reason, you just dump it out and let it dry, and you can use it again for something else. That I get. Bread, same thing.
Yeah.
There's maybe a couple of crumbs in there. I'll let it air out and put the next bread in there, and you do that a couple
Yes.
times. Okay, so but I'm not going to wash out plastic bags. But what I do with them, and other
Ooh.
materials that come, like dog food comes in a bag and stuff like that, I will use those for her dog poop. So I go out and I clean the poop. I don't
Yes.
have special bags. And then like bags that the envelopes that come through um, Amazon, I will use those when I'm selling my items on eBay.
Oh, smart.
So I reuse them. They're already
Yeah.
cushioned. Why would I go buy some more? Thanks for listening. Now let's pack up this week's episode in the trunk.
Ride shotgun and be a part of our adventure by clicking on the plus sign to subscribe and follow our show. This will help our ratings and, more importantly, inspire us to keep creating fun and engaging content. We would love to hear from you in the comment sections, or email us at retiredpodcastnewtread@gmail.com. Use the fast track lane by sharing episodes with friends, family, and anyone who would like to join us on a road trip through retirement.
Be sure to check the show notes for links and contact information. Retired is chauffeured by Sue Britz and Tina Lokkbakk. It is produced, directed, and edited by me, Sue Britz. Music and graphics are by me too. Buckle up and tune in next week so that you won't miss your chance to join our retired road trip.